the last speaker for this session, before we have our break, is Sudhir Yadav. He is the Senior Principal Research Fellow at Queensland Alliance for Agriculture and Food Innovation. So the Alliance at the University of Queensland is a world-leading research institute dedicated to delivering innovative solutions for agriculture and food industries. Sorry, my eyes are starting to get very tired now. The Alliance focuses on sustainable farming practices, enhancing productivity and addressing global challenges in agriculture and food systems. Sudhir's research spans sustainability indicators, traceability standards, life cycle assessment and benchmarking methodologies, all aimed at advancing sustainable farming practices, improving environmental stewardship and enhancing resource use efficiency. Please welcome Sudhir to the stage.
Thanks, Angela. It's like a test match that at the end of the day, if you want to accommodate one more over, you need to kind of rotate your bowler very fast. So that's what Angela is doing. I know it's a rapid talk, but I would still like to ask you to rotate your eyes specifically on left-hand side of the screen, on their perspective, and some of the key words that are mentioned there. I think since morning we have focused a lot on our perspective, and it's very clear that there is a momentum with us. At the same time, I think from today onward, tomorrow, what we need to think about is their perspective, what are the challenges. My name is Sudhir Yadav. I'm Associate Professor with the University of Queensland. Before starting, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owner and their custodianship of the land on which we meet. We started this work on zooming into ASF and other sustainability framework to understand how we can address their prospective challenges. And the idea was that after ASF, a number of industry has started to release their sustainability framework. And this is an example of sort of two framework, macro level ASF, and then we have Australian green industry sustainability framework. And we start to review these at a broader level, that what are the structure, how it is aligned, and we are talking about the common language. And I think, after lunch, we listened to ASF next step of actions, and it's very clear that they want to go into commodity metrics, which was obviously missing in the phase one. And this is where it was very clear that there was confusion and demand, which is a great thing, about that how these can be tailored to a specific commodity. We spoke with number of stakeholders in terms of understanding their perspective. I think the one keyword which was coming from Grover was data burden. And it was very, very clear that that's something which is keeping them away. Researchers were doubting about how we will capture the heterogeneity of the system in different commodity-based system into something generic sustainability framework. While industry talk about number of things, mainly about different segment of the value chain, talking about the traceability, talking about the emerging things, for example, nature repair market, or I think we were talking about region. So there were new things emerging that how these kind of framework can link with that. So what we did, we started to use this macro level framework, and I think that's the vision, to look into how we can zoom into particular commodity or particular crop. And we think about two levels of decision. The decision that is taken place at property level, at farm level, and decisions that are taken place specifically around a particular system, whether it is a canola, whether it's a wheat, whether it is cotton. The second part is the assessment methodology. I think one key word which perhaps did not come very clearly this morning was AI. I think this is where the things had changed significantly in last couple of years, and we have opportunity to speed up that development of the back end. And I just want to be clear that I'm saying about the back end in terms of using AI, and we keep the front end quite simple. So we develop the methodology and algorithm for benchmarking at the back end, as well as using machine learning for sustainability scoring, making sure, I think, DJ, you were saying about we are leading the sustainability, and we have been asked, prove it. So that prove it is there, that we can show that how we have computed the sustainability. So we come up with, zooming into that one, we simplify ASF into in some module which we can talk with growers. So come up with 6 modules. This is all around ASF, but the clear vision was, first one was reducing the data burden. It's slightly different than what Alan was saying this morning. We still focus on practices because we thought that using the machine learning, we can compute the impact indicators. So we thought, let's take this opportunity to capture the practices, because that will help us to go again and improve some of those areas. We use machine learning methods to do the baselining, to do the benchmarking. I think that has been wonderful learning. And the example that I'm going to present is for wheat. So we zoom into the data. Another major challenge is that when you go to the growers and try to collect the data, sometimes it is really you start to get headache about to deal with this when there is data, but there is no data. So you get the data in a format which is hard to use. Answer is AI. I think that, again, the time has changed. We are in a different era, and we can use that information to extract what we want to. So we develop algorithm to deal with textual information, qualitative data, quantitative data, mixed data, longitudinal data. So all that basically developing algorithm to deal with that. I'll quickly present 2 examples and then show the dashboard. This is a sort of, we are doing topic modeling that a industry A or B or C or any project is working with growers, and they give you the data sheet that, hey, we have this data sheet which we have collected. That's enough for us. I mean, there's no need to collect the data again. So we develop a natural language program model in terms of reading the data out of it, and then see that for how many standard or indicator this sheet can provide the data. At the same time, we use that opportunity to incentivize farmer that if you have this sort of data, we will give you sustainability scoring for keeping that record. So we factor that in while developing the topic modeling. The second example is zooming into detail. I think this is a time to zoom in further detail rather than cutting it short, because we can keep that on back end. So this is an example of grain yield, and why I presented this one, it shows 2 things. One is that we were able to do geographical segregation. This data is from Western Australia. By the way, all the data we used was already in the public domain. Welcome to the AI world. We were able to scan 10,000 documents in 1 week time and able to generate this information. So again, if it's not there, obviously we can't do it. So it's not like AI is magical. If it's not there, we cannot do it. So we did the segregation by geography, but we also did segregation by the product type. For example, if industry is selling or exporting it as a hard wheat, noodle white, premium white, or standard white, we segregated that from a sustainability scoring. So we do have consider industry perspective. We did consider grower perspective when they are opting certain practice. We develop a dashboard. This is work in progress, but I thought to show this one as an example. So there are 2 dashboard module. One is for the self-assessment for the growers. So they can look at it and they can see what practices, how they are rated. But in this example, what you see that there are particular module, and there is a particular variety. I think scepter is the example we have taken here. So now, if you opt a particular variety, it has a trait against disease, which means you're applying less pesticide. so far we haven't thought, and this is just an example, to give a sustainability scoring by picking a variety because it is reducing the pesticide application. So this is an example where we are able to factor in lot of trait of different practices and develop the sustainability scoring. And what you see in the dashboard at the bottom is that this is also telling that how that practice is aligned with ASF. So it also at the same time tell at macro level. So I think the key message is for us is listening to their perspective and then kind of addressing that. And I think this era is something where we should not be afraid of detail. I think details can be handled. Less detail is risky. Thank you very much.